Well, good morning. What's up, you crazy kids? Well, like I promised the other day, we're gonna do that vlog that I was mentioning. We're gonna drop Jaw off over at Pollyanna's house. I have some plans tonight in Venice, and I figured, you know what? We'll be pretty close. Why don't we go see a famous place called Chez? And Chez was the place that I mentioned to you guys, was the original inspiration for the Regal Beagle on Three's Company. What do you think of that, you two? Let's do it upright. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. You're putting on the theatrics already, big guy? Well, I'm thinking of taking you to the park and then to Pollyanna's house. What do you think of that? This should be a pretty fun vlog today because I've never been to the Regal Beagle / Chez before, but this place has a really great story and a lot of interesting history has happened here. A little puppy party there. Now, as I understand it, there's a show called Goliath starring Billy Bob Thornton that they use Chez as a pretty heavy backdrop for that show in a lot of the episodes. And the story to this place is kind of funny. It used to be an old diner, and it was established in the late 40s. But an actor named Jay drunkenly mentioned one night that he'd like to buy the place, and then the owner didn't forget, and one day just decided he'd had enough of the place and told Jay, "You can buy the lease for $1." Jay took over the lease and his family's been running it ever since. Time to see Pollyanna. Hi! Well, there's the setup of the Crenshaw Cowboy. See, he's turned that a little pony into some sort of robotic thing, and he's got signs all over the place telling people to explore their creative mind. Well, here we are, my friends. We've made it over to Chez, and this place has quite a history beyond even being the inspiration for the Regal Beagle. This at one point was the hangout of a lot of astronauts, and at one point an astronaut named Alan Shepard was here drinking, told his pal Jay here, Fiandella, who owned this place, "Hey, I'm going to the moon." He said, "I'm going to take a golf club and a golf ball," and Jay said, "Why don't you take one of my peanuts?" Because one of the little traditions here is that they give free peanuts. And so Alan took the peanut to the moon, brought it back, and they call it the very first astronut. Now, it's been a celebrity hangout for pretty much as long as it's been Chez, and the name Chez came from a play on Chez Joey, a Frank Sinatra movie. Now, like I mentioned, this was all purchased, the lease anyway, was purchased for $1. Jay used to work at a place called Sinbad's over here on the beach. He was also a notable hot air balloon enthusiast as well as actor. And so he was offered the restaurant 10 years after they opened. It was originally called the Don Cafe. Jay thought about it. He goes, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do it." Paid the $1 to take over the 1.5 year lease, sank $5 grand into restoring it and fixing it up, and it's been Chez ever since. Now, it's from what I understand from seeing online, it got affiliated with Goliath because one of the people involved with Goliath is married to Michelle Pfeiffer, and he's a producer, and he had Michelle Pfeiffer and he had like their wedding reception or something here, and they've been coming here for years, so they always wanted to incorporate it into something, and so it ended up coming into here. Now, they also say that that some of the papers that helped facilitate the end of the Vietnam War were exchanged here, and this is now a historical landmark, which they say in Santa Monica is not easy to do. I didn't know that, but this is the historic Chez, and like I said, the interior is pretty close to what the Regal Beagle was looking like. So when we go in, I'll be able to show you just a little bit. Kind of cool to see this. Now, being a celebrity hotspot, they said that Julie Andrews sometimes has her birthday parties here, and when they were doing like a dedication for the astronaut, the nut that I believe I heard is now insured for over $1 million. When they were doing the dedication for that, on the flyer it had that she was going to be in attendance. But also beyond that, they said that Lee Marvin used to like to come here and bring dates here, and in fact when his movie Cats Ballou was nominated for an award and he won, he had his after party here and left his Oscar. The next day he couldn't find his little statue and called here and was asking if they had it. Gotta love it, right? So open since 1959 and still going strong. Let's go take a look inside Chez. Oh, this is cool. This is a letter from Dolly Parton. And this is Steve McQueen used to frequent here and put the astronaut in his mouth. There's Jay right there, and Jay yelled at him, "Hey, that thing's radioactive, don't eat it." Kind of cool. Now, this is really cool. They have a little note here saying that now that the Titanic's released, they said they can thank Chez for giving them peanuts that they took down in a Russian submersible in 1991, and they left the large ones in a clear container on the Titanic's bridge next to the ship's steering wheel post. It was a little worse for the wearer after the 2.5-mile dive and the 6,000 psi, but it was still there when we made the 1995 dives for Jim's film. Pretty cool. Now check this out. This is a long, long list of all their famous patrons over the years. Take a look at that. I mean, pretty much every name you can think of is on there. Jeez, man. Just about everybody. Wow. And that was a little note from George Patton. Now this is kind of neat because when they had their opening, Jay had a bunch of beautiful women come here, and he also hired an elephant to come, and when the elephant smelled the alcohol, he put his paws up there and put dents in the bar. Now this letter up here says that for almost every Sunday night the Lawfords would host a poker game, but the game group would first meet at Chez for cocktails. Regular players include Milton Berle, Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin. Wow. And occasionally Natalie Wood and Marilyn Monroe. Pretty awesome place. And there's my food.
That's just shrimp and garlic sauce. I can't eat shrimp because I'm allergic.
And this is the famous booth 10 that Elizabeth Taylor used to sit in. They used to throw a lot of parties back here, and they say this is where those letters were transferred that helped end the Vietnam War. Pentagon Papers. Pretty neat. And that right there is Jay, the founder. Pretty cool. Well, that was pretty awesome. They say the Beach Boys used to hang out there, John F. Kennedy, and they even say in the back patio that the great Quentin Tarantino had the first read-through of Jackie Brown. So actually I just talked to somebody and they said no. They said that where Tarantino did the read-through was actually the very first table as soon as you walk in the front door to the right. This is a little corner table, so we'll go take a look at it real quick while we're here. So they said it would have actually been this table. That's where the first Jackie Brown read-through would have taken place. Pretty cool. One of the things I was reading online is that they stock up the jukebox full of people that used to hang out here. And then there's a picture of Alan Shepard right there with Jay and his mom Alice with the peanut that he smuggled to the moon in a microfilm container. All right, that's gonna do it for us. I think I'll definitely be back at some point. Now they told me to come back and check out the nightlife because they said that's where this place really shines, is when the bar kicks back open about 5 o'clock and everybody starts coming in all night. Kind of cool to see a place that President John F. Kennedy, the Beach Boys, Tarantino, the Rat Pack, Dolly Parton, Lee Marvin, Steve McQueen, all those people would have hung out here and had drinks here. And just a warning, they say the drinks here are awfully stiff. Well, I think after hanging out here for the last hour, I can definitely see where they got the idea for the Regal Beagle. The whole inside of that place totally reminded me of Three's Company Regal Beagle. And if you love Three's Company and you want to see more Three's Company filming locations, go check my old vlogs because I found the Three's Company apartment. I don't recall what vlog it was, but type in Daze with Jordan the Lion, Three's Company apartment building, and you will see that vlog. Well, we have some mail to go out to some of you guys. Let's do this. All right, we're done. Now, you remember those crazy scooters that I was telling you that everybody's renting and that you, in some places you can't ride them? Well, I think my plan today is to go riding them. I don't know if I'll show you guys or not. Gee, I wonder if we're anywhere near Universal. So before I left Chez, I was actually talking to somebody who's worked there for quite a while, and he was telling me some extra stories. He said that the Michelle Pfeiffer connection was that her and her husband had their first date there, and Michelle had been going there for a long time, even before she was a star, and so that's why they just had all these special moments there, and he decided to use that as the backdrop for Goliath. He also said that not only did Tarantino go there and sometimes do rewrites and also have that the table read, but he said that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck used to go there and do rewrites for Good Will Hunting, but also they have a napkin that has some rewrites from Sam Peckinpah during The Wild Bunch, or for The Wild Bunch. So pretty cool history there. I mean, just that table 10 that we were in back there, that the big booth, that's where Sam Peckinpah was working on that. Pretty cool. Well, I couldn't be this close over in Santa Monica and not swing by and pay my respects at this great mural. I don't think there is an actual burial place or anything, so I think his ashes were given to family, but I knew I was close by and I love this mural, so just figured I'd swing by and hang out for a few. Wow, check out that interesting, it's almost like a mummy, that art on the side of that apartment building, that house. It's got their address up there in the blue. You can see right over there, but I was driving by and just saw it and I was like, that's really interesting just to have on the side of your house. And this place unfortunately isn't open today, so I'm gonna come back and vlog it another time, but I've been dying to see it, so I just had to give you guys a little bit of a teaser. They have certain days that they're open. This is the Venice Mosaic house, as you can tell, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll check this out at some point. Great house. Check out the giant binoculars. Leave the cars in there for a little frame of reference. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Those roses in there. And here we have the Venice love wall. Take a look at that guy. And this over here. Somebody should tell him he has some gum on his shoe. What? It says let a dog live. And there he is hanging out next to his van with Venice Beach. Look at this guy with his dogs. Nice. Well, I just saw this house driving by and I had to stop and show you. Look at that. It's pretty interesting, huh? Well, nice. Take a look at that mural. Just drove past. Had to come back and look at that one. Sophia Loren. I'll take a look at this. It says open your heart. Then this whole wall is covered. As well as over here. Well, gang, we're gonna call it a night. I wanted to thank Michelle Judkins, Ralph Alessandro, and Crystal Gardner for making contributions to my channel. And I did go out and I did ride those scooters tonight with my friend, and I'll say this, it was a lot of fun, but I had to get 6 different scooters because there was something wrong with all of them. I got on one, the brake didn't work. When you push the brake down, it just like stuck. You have to, literally had to lift it up. One of them, the accelerator was the same way. You push it down, it wouldn't like let off. And then one of them I got on had a flat tire, like just a myriad of things. So it was fun, but if you're gonna do it, you definitely have to like double check it for all the little quirks and things that could go wrong with it. And I do believe we found out that they shut off at 9 o'clock because we couldn't get any of them to work after 9 p.m. So it was fun, but it was total chaos. I highly recommend it though. I had a lot of fun riding it. I just couldn't film it because since I was getting used to it and everything, I had my GoPro in my hand, it just wasn't filming very well. So we'll strap it on my head one time and I'll go riding around and show you guys. But thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the Regal Beagle Chez with all of its crazy history. And they don't really like photos in there. They really try and keep it kind of a private place. So I was trying to photograph it as minimal as possible, but I still wanted to be able to show you. And once I started telling them what I was doing, they were like, you know, take a few photos, it's cool, you know. Just didn't want to disturb the customers. So have a great night. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.